All right, hello, good evening, and welcome to our second official round of CodeKombat.
Season 1.
Season one. This is first season. We are doing a blog challenge through the season. Last week, we started with building a simple front end using Angular. So by all means, if you missed that, check it out. At the very end of the stream, I was struggling a little bit with getting my code to run. I had some lovely working stuff. It was beautiful. And at the very last 2 minutes, we decided, let's just get one more page quickly in, and I broke the whole lot. But about 30 seconds after the stream was finished, I found the line. There was just one line in the wrong module that I'd put in my haste.
So I won. Just
so
to
Eddie
recap,
won last week.
He
won last week, which means this week he loses one of his hearts to start with.
What? You give me a handicap already.
Because last week he jumped to the board and gave me about 1 million, so that's it. He's lost one off the bat for winning last week. And for also delaying our start this evening, because he was wanting sound effects.
Wait, we got some sound effects. Let me see. Which ones have we got? I don't know. I got this one. We can't hear it, so yeah, hopefully it's good. It's a robot reading out numbers. It's kind of like digital. Anyway, I'll turn it off now. It's probably a bit annoying. But let us know what you think of the sound effects. We've got a few more to show. I'm not going to show you them all now. Just to also recap, I won last episode.
That's right. Hear. This week we're working more on the back end. So Eddie has not done any back end development he hasn't much development anyway.
Yeah, I don't really code. I'm more the Eddie show.
So yeah, we're doing back end. We're building a bit of a REST API to go with our front end blog. So yeah, hopefully.
What are we going to be using? We're going
to be doing stuff with Node obviously, is
Express.
The core thing. I think we're going to use Express for the library.
Are you going to use Typescript to match your front end? I think you should, and I'll go vanilla this time. Yes, because I didn't go vanilla last time in the front end. You went vanilla, and I went material with Angular. So this time I'll go vanilla Express, and you go Express and Typescript and Rust.
I think it's just to show how many libraries that I have used, but yeah, not necessarily the way that the documentation gets written for these things. So I get documentation issues as usual.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that sounds like a plan.
Okay, go on then. I'll try and use TypeScript.
You've done it 101 times before.
Okay, fine.
Don't try and make
Okay,
it
all right. TypeScript it is. TypeScript with Node using Express. Bang, and you're going to go JavaScript vanilla, follow the documentation, do it to the letter.
Exactly.
And let's see who can build a blog.
And the crowd goes wild! I can't remember how long this one goes on for.
Do we need a countdown to start? Do we have a countdown? We've got an alarm.
We've got an alarm.
For the end. We haven't got a countdown to begin. Okay, we'll figure out a countdown for next time. But yeah, don't forget to test all your code. You get brownie points for testing, or you lose hearts. I don't know which way we're doing this now. But
we'll figure it out. We'll let you decide.
Yeah, cool.
Pick me. Cool.
Looking good. So, we ready? Should we begin? It's 23 minutes past. How long are we going for?
What's the time?
1 hour, okay.
1 hour.
Just set an alarm for 1 hour. Let's do that quickly. I'm going to quickly...
I'm going to start opening the Express documentation because I can't remember.
Get yourself a head start, I know.
Yeah, don't forget to distract Andrew lots in this this live stream.
Timer is starting now for 1 hour.
Let's just check what the quality is like at maximum.
Cool. I'm going to begin whilst you fiddle around with buttons because the timer has begun.
Getting started.
On the
installing. Right, okay, whose screen are we going to share first? Share mine if you want. See me set up Express? I don't know how.
If you like, go for it. Yep. Eddie's screen should be live.
Hopefully you see my screen. And let me show you my lovely GitHub. My contributions of this year in the last 12 months have just dropped below 2,000. So, really bad of me. I need to push forward with that. And... don't forget to follow me on GitHub. I've got 554 followers. Woo! It's Hacktoberfest also, we mustn't forget. So make sure you submit your 4 pull requests. So you get your free swag, your free t-shirt from GitHub and DigitalOcean. Thank you very much, GitHub and DigitalOcean. We actually had Docker, who are in this building in London, come and give us some free swag. We got stickers. I got some other stuff. Where did I put them? Did you nick those?
No, I haven't nicked anything.
Oh, here we go. I got a pen.
Blame me, I don't know.
And I got some more stickers, and I got like glasses cleaner.
It's just like cleaning stuff. We haven't actually opened up. There may be something else in there. You never know.
Okay, I'm not gonna, just don't try and distract me now. I got code to do. So yes.
And one of the things we should perhaps mention, we are putting all the code onto GitHub. So last week, if you saw the show, didn't see the show, have a look. I will share the link up onto the chat so you can check it out. It is A public repo, obviously, as it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can take a look, and as the series or season evolves, we will obviously be using the same repo for that.
So
we
I need to
will
clone it,
update
don't I?
If you haven't got it already, you will want to get that. Yeah.
You changed everything just to kind of, I don't know, give yourself a head start.
No, what you mean is you reformatted everything, and you don't have anything downloaded yet, so you're having to start over, which is great for me.
CodeKombat. No, I have CodeKombat. Have you made any major changes? Get a pull. I'll just do a pull, make sure.
It was CodeKombat, right? The repo.
It was CodeKombat. I'm up to date apparently.
Typing it onto here. Is that's right? Yeah.
Code-combat. Code-wombat. That's correct.
Cool. Hopefully that takes you through. So yeah, have a look.
Let's open my IDE. Probably recognise this VS Code.
It hasn't come through as a link. Why has it not come through as a link? Hopefully it has. Hopefully you can click on that. If not, copy and paste it.
Capital H, maybe.
Maybe I'll put too many letters in there. Anyway, you should better copy that.
So I have CodeKombat Season 1, Player 1. Am I Player 1? No, that's the one who.
No, I'm Player 1.
Who lost?
I'm Player 1. Look, it says behind. Player 1, Player 2. Player 1 has 5 hearts. Player 4, 2 has lost, but he's on 4.
Because Andrew's already cheating, and you can be Player 3. Actually, no, you can all join my team and help me with Express. Forget and distract Andrew. I know someone had a question from the Code Mortals Slack about web components, so ask Andrew please about that. So I have Player 2. We were going to drop the code we did last episode into a subfolder, weren't we?
Yeah, so I'm just moving code into folders, which is taking far too long for some reason.
Calling it web or UI? What are we going to call it?
I don't know. I've called mine front-end, backend in the folders.
You always have to be different, don't you? Okay, front end.
That's what everyone calls it, front-end, backend.
Right.
We can call it web and app and lots of different names.
Okay, so let me move all of those. I've done this so badly. I'm selecting each file. Don't do this. This is like terrible. It's all in Git, so if I budget up, I can undo it all. And my idea is I can grab those and drop them in front end. Kind of looks okay. Nice. And then I want to make a new folder backend. I bet you Express is going to make this folder, so I kind of mess myself up. Let me see. Look at the documentation. Oh, you make a directory. Okay, you go into directory, you npm initialize. Okay, that's cool. And then you do Express save. So let's have a look. We can open command, if you're on a Mac, command J. Opens up the terminal. I learned that from Kush. So Kush, if you're watching, thank you very much. And then I need to go to the right folder, which is Season 1, Player 2. And then we go backend. Because this is going to be... Oh, I need to npm initialize it then, right? Yes, because each directory will have its own. So although it's like a mono repo, so front end and back end will be independent, have their own package JSON, be completely independent, so there's nothing actually shared between them. So we will follow the instructions properly and do npm init. Backend, we'll just call it backend, that's fine, no problem, let's go. Version 1, not yet, but that's fine. Entry point, that's what they've asked for, yeah. Enter app.js, whatever you want the name of the main file to be. Index is fine. Go, 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 go. Is this okay? Yes. So now we can then go npm install express save. Cooking on gas. How are you getting on over there? Very quiet.
I'm letting you talk to everyone while you're explaining how to set up Express.
So we're going to do hello world in Express now. This is where I'm going to copy and paste. You're going to see my really good skills on copy and pasting.
Ooh, are we using a database? Have we chosen what database we're going to do with this? Does it matter?
For this one, we've only got an hour. We should probably just do a JSON file or something.
What, reading and writing from a JSON file?
Reading from it. Just forget. I don't think we'll get onto writing today. Will we? Maybe we will.
Okay, let's see. You can do a JSON file. I might use a database.
Well, if you're going to use a database, I might use Elasticsearch with Docker. And I've got Docker stickers.
Okay, you go for Docker with Elasticsearch. I'm going to go for Mongo because I've got it running on my laptop.
Let me stick this sticker. Wait a second. I've got this great place I can stick this sticker. Probably can't see, but I'm going to put this on Andrew's screen. His face.
I'm going to put it on your camera screen. That's what we'll do. We'll pop it on the camera. How about that? Fair enough.
Right, okay. So what we're going to do is copy and paste. This is the best way to do development, right? What's everyone been up to today anyway? It's Monday, right? I hope you all had a good weekend.
It is.
Hope you got lots of open source coding. Don't forget 4 pull requests for Hacktoberfest. And hopefully your week has been going well. 1 day in. Okay, you know what? Copy and paste it. Hello world example. Copy, paste. I'm not even going to read the writing around it. David, if you're watching, you know I don't read anything. So we have now saved that. So let's make, if we say touch index.js, therefore it will create a nice file in here for us. Hey Venkatesh, thanks for joining all the way from India. Great to have you here. It must be quite late for you over there. What are you, like 4.5 hours ahead? Which must make it about midnight there. Is it about 12 o'clock? Don't forget, please Venkatesh, distract Andrew. Distract Andrew as much as you can and help me.
At the moment we'll swap to my screen once you've got Express going.
Okay, so I've got it. I've saved something. Something is happening. I probably need Postman to test it. Let me see. What do they recommend in their docs? Running it locally. Run node app. So we can put that into the package JSON, just make it a bit easier. What does it have? Scripts test. So we can put start, and then let's add just node app. No, we call it index, so node index.js. If I save that and do npm start, I have got an error. It's not really good. Already in use 3000. What am I running on port 3000? That's not a good start. Let's just change it to 3001. That's probably better, right? Let's start again. Second time. Lucky. And we are running. So, now what does it recommend to do? If you visit in the browser, localhost 3001, we have hello world. Awesome. And we have, I'm going to try and pronounce some names here. Samapan? Hopefully I pronounced that right. Hey, thanks for stopping. Thanks for joining in, and thanks for saying hi. If you're watching, don't forget to say hi in the chat. Write open source if you're a big open source fan. How many of you have started Hacktoberfest? We are 3 weeks into the month, and I hope you've done 3 pull requests by now, because it's 4 in total.
It's 4 in total, yeah. In fact, I haven't checked my code yet. They said they were going to send me out a code on the 17th. I've not seen an email come in.
It's because you need to do more pull requests.
What? I've already done like 8 or so on there. And the first 4 were done on the first day. I don't know. Oh well. The codes will come through soon. They'll come through soon. But yeah, Hacktoberfest, definitely worth doing. It's a good bit of fun regardless.
So what's everyone else been working on this weekend or today? What technology have you been using? Be interested to hear what tech people are using. You know, Angular, framework, library React, Express, Typescript. Just, you know, drop some tech buzzwords in the chat. And let's switch to Andrew's code. I've got mine working now. You can see it in the browser. Oh, let me switch back to the browser. You can see it. So if I open Postman, I should also see it. And hopefully it might not be in JSON. It might just be the string. So let's check. Let's have a look. Oh, you know what? I don't even have to use Postman. I can actually use. I have something. Yes, we're going to beat Andrew with this. I have something, a plugin on VS Code, and I'll just say RESTful. I think it's a terrible name, but let's have a look. HTTP. I think I can put commands in here. I can't remember how it works. I don't remember how to run it. Oh, you've got to put get in front. How do you send a request? Oh my god, I've forgotten. This is embarrassing. Right, so I'm pretty sure it's like, do you like press it to go? What's the plugin? Let me check. I don't think an hour is going to be enough. HTTP. Let's have a look. Install HTTP client. I do have one already installed. A REST client. Here we go. So Samapan says they've made 2 PRs. Nice, you're halfway. 2 more to go. Make 1 more tonight. I'm going to try and live stream this weekend and encourage everyone to do more than 4 PRs and help them out. So I'll try and do that. That'll be on my own channel. But I meant that last week and I didn't, so apologies. And Venkatesh is working with Vue. Venkatesh, how do you find Vue compared to Angular or React? I'll be really interested to know what your thoughts are. I haven't tried Vue yet, so I'm not sure. Let's minimize the terminal for a second. So let's have a look at this. How do you make a request? I forget. Usage. Here we go. So you just do your HTTP, and you can put the content type, and you can put the post and the body if you want. Okay, so let's just put the content type. The body is nothing because it's a get. But how do you send the request? Oh yeah, I remember it's 3 hashes to divide the requests. Oops, 1, 2, 3. So we will need for the next request we save, and let's have a look at how we send the request. I can't remember. Install making a request. Looks good, but how do you get that panel on the right? Send it. We're sending it. I've probably skimmed over it really fast. It's a mix of both Angular and React. I have actually heard people say that, and I guess it's the best of both, is what I've heard. So it's good to hear that. And worked on Azure and Flask this weekend for MLH Hackathon. MLH. What does MLH stand for? Hackathon. Big thumbs up. Wait, Hackathon. Let me put some sound effects. Crowds. Hackathon! Woo! I don't know how long that crowd goes on for. And I don't know how
Probably
loud that
too
was.
long.
So I have stopped it. How was the sound effect? We got some more. I've used crowd twice now. We've been going for about 10 minutes. I'll try and use something else. I cannot remember how to run this freaking file. I don't want to use Postman. I'm actually going to close Postman to prove that I don't have to use it. And if I read the documentation, I'd know how to send it. Usage, yes. Here we go. Control, Alt, and R. Control, Alt, and R. That's wrong. There we go. Control, Alt, and R. Doesn't work. Seriously, it doesn't work. Maybe because it's a Mac, it means Command, Alt, and R. Yes! And we got Hello World, so we got it back. It's not in JSON, but we got it back. Awesome. Mine's working. How's yours doing, Andrew? Stop copying and pasting code. I don't know. I saw that.
We've got to copy and paste a few bits, haven't we?
Okay, let's switch to Andrew. Let me see how I can switch to Andrew's screen. Is that Andrew's screen? I've turned mine off. Camera's off. It should be on Andrew's. Let's
have a look. I have no idea where I'm
Major League
at with this.
Major League hacking. That sounds freaking awesome. Can you help me, please? Because I'm like a bit stuck. But actually, distract Andrew for a minute. Andrew, keep an eye on the chat. I'll be back in a minute.
So, I think, let me have a look. I want to just do a TSC build for now.
How did you get to where you are now?
I will talk about how I got to. I just want to see if Typescript is running. No, it doesn't seem to be. Okay, I'll walk through quickly what we've got. So I've added a few, I'll say, favorites for Express.
Why have you added those favorites for Express? Everyone, please ask Andrew and distract him and ask him to explain every line.
So I've added body parser. So body parser will allow us. Eddie's going to now just install the same things. So that's why he wants me to say this. So I've added body parser that will allow any incoming request, if I'm posting some data, for me to be able to parse that and see what's happening. Express, obviously, we want Express. Glob I use because I'm going to be looking through folders. I can show you where that's going to be. So in here, I'm going to use glob to go through the directory. And I'm going to pull out anything that I've got in my modules. So I've added a quick blog module. It's not quite working yet. I've just thrown a bit of code into there just to get things started and get me going. And it will basically loop through those, and it will require and add those into the app. And then, we'll start the server up on the correct port. But back to the packages. What else have we got? That's the front end one. So I have moved all my front end code into a front end folder, so I can close that folder. I don't really need that open. But in the package JSON, we've also got a helmet, which is just a security thing. It just takes out.
I don't know. All these. You've been doing React recently, adding in like 1,000,001 libraries.
They're not that many. Helmet will help with just general security stuff. So it removes things like the powered by Express headers. Doesn't do cause. It tells the browser what it's allowed to do. Have a look. It's just all the kind of common stuff. You should really always use it. I've also added Mongoose because I'm going to connect up with Mongo as a database to store stuff. And then I've also added some dev dependencies. So I've got Chai, Nook, and Supertest, which will allow me to do some testing if I get a chance to. I wanted to add a Cucumber as well. I didn't get around to adding Cucumber.
I see no questions in the chat for Andrew.
Saved,
Please ask him lots of questions.
Cucumber.
It could be about what he's doing. It could be about anything tech. It could be about anything not tech. Even the weather. Just ask Andrew.
The weather, I don't get to see the outside world. How am I supposed to know what the weather's like? You're going to make me run outside, have a look, and tell you it's dark. Okay. So Cucumber as well. So Cucumber testing, we've spoken about it before. Nice little way of running things. What about Morgan? Morgan is great for catching stuff coming into you, seeing what network traffic's going on. Because I'm being quite basic, I'm trying to score brownie points. I don't think there's going to be many brownie points or points awarded for using Morgan. But yes, certainly Morgan's good. Winston as well for logging is quite nice. But yeah, for request logging and so forth, Morgan is a good one to use. But I'm not going to drop Morgan in now. Maybe if I get time, I can try adding a few more. We will be doing, obviously this series is going to evolve. So I think we're trying today to get just a fairly basic API running. Next week, when we do our next one, we will be bringing the front end and the back end together and getting the whole stack working together. And then depending on how well that goes, the following week, we will then be doing kind of refinement. So adding a few, I'll say best practice, things like Morgan might come in then, finishing off bits that we didn't finish on the front end, because I think at the moment we've got lists and viewing a single entry, but we haven't got the ability to send data in. So there'll be all that kind of going on in the fourth episode. And then the fifth one will be a bit of a let's tidy everything up and what would we perhaps, in five hours of work effectively, give to someone to say, here's your blog. And then you guys get to choose which one would you use, I suppose.
Neither.
Probably neither. But if you had to choose and there was no other blog platform in the world and ours was the only one available, who would you choose? Probably still neither.
Yeah, write your own. It's all part of the fun.
So that's it. Yeah, and then I've got a few scripts over here. So node start. So once the build works, then it should allow me to start something. But that's not working yet. And then I've got a local start here. So grab the start the node mon to watch for changes in the source folder. So that's this source folder here. It'll run the Typescript to TS Node. I haven't installed TS Node yet. So yeah, I grabbed some of these scripts from ones I've used before, as you can probably see, and we will want to show, I'll call it CodeKombat for the data store, Combat. Yeah, we want to then see where it goes. CodeKombat test. But yeah, this is all my standard sort of scripts I run. So the test one here does a build, cleans the database out, so it just drops the database, and then it will run the tests. And then this last one is test Cucumber. This will do a additional one where it will run NYC as well, which will do coverage. I haven't actually installed it. I probably don't need that one, do I? Oh, this is the test Cucumber. I will need that. I'll take NYC out for now. I'm not going to do coverage for this. So yeah, marginally cheated by grabbing a few things. ESLint and ready here. I haven't added my lint checking in yet. I've only got a tsconfig file, but yes, I should be add a TS link for me. Eddie wants an ES link probably for his, as he's doing JavaScript. I assume you're using ECMAScript for it.
I was making shit up as I go along, really.
Okay, good.
I'm going to find a really good post on Stack Overflow from 10 years ago, and I'm going to use that. How does that sound?
That sounds like you're going to cheat. And
yes, Lynn, Eddie and Andrew. Venkatesh, Eddie, you help me, you distract Andrew.
Yeah,
all questions
Eddie
to
needs
him,
links, so.
And all good stuff to me. Okay, I need to add that shortly. Let me get something working first.
Right, I think I need to add some types in here. So TypeScript, because we're using TypeScript, does not understand Express, Glob, and Helmet yet. So I need to do an npm I save dev for types, and then we've got Express and types for Glob and types. This is whilst TypeScript is great, you've got to remember to always add the types as well. So add those three in, and then hopefully it will recognize them. Why is it not understanding DNAME? It seems like something's not quite right with this project. Could be the IDE though. Oh, here we go. It's suddenly woken up. Now it's happy with DNAME. Okay, it might have been because it's missing the types up here as well. So we've now got some types. Let's try that build now. I don't still think it was complaining about something else. I need to check the error. Yeah. Because I haven't probably pointed it at a folder. So just source folder, I guess. Or do I need to tell it where to output to? I need to check the TSC command. Don't run it that often. Let's see where it outputs it to. Hopefully, not my folder. Sort of TS. No. Let's have a look. Why? Might have to go and check the internet. No. Okay. Why can't TSC work? npm TSC. So what have I gone wrong with the command? Oh, that's interesting. Package deprecated. Probably meant to install Typescript. Oh yeah, we are using Typescript, not TSC. TSC is just a command line tool inside there. So
what's that thing I need to reload it? NodeMon. That's the
NodeMon is what I'm using, yeah, with NodeMon -- watch.
I was being really smart. I don't need that. I can just stop and start it each time. It's really freaking annoying.
TSC.
I now have JSON coming out of my API, so I'm really chuffed. But ESLint, I will add that. Don't make sure I don't forget.
Build tsconfig. Did I put it into the tsconfig already? I might have done. I thought it picked that up on its own. Let's give it a go.
Okay, so I have JSON coming through. All is good in the hood. What was I going to do next? NodeMon. Let me Google that. NodeMon. Is Andrew's screen a bit boring? When you want to switch over to look at some cool stuff, let me know in the chat. And switch over to my
I'm just
cool
trying to get
screen.
some work done this time because last time we had so much time talking, I fell behind. So we need to.
You
make
fell
sure we get
behind
stuff
because
done.
you got fancy and you busted your build and it didn't work. You had a blank page to show
There may
with
be an
an
element
error.
of that.
Yes.
There may be an element of trying to do something a bit fancy. But I haven't actually shown what was running last week, but that'll get me distracted. At the very end, when we finish this, I will show that the code was working, as long as I haven't broken it since.
Okay, I'm installed. Oh no, shit! I'm sorry, I can't swear. I installed NodeMon in the wrong freaking directory.
Aha.
That was
Right, that's
stupid.
better. Okay, it's building now. Good. But there is an error because I haven't yet actually created this blog thing here, so I need to go and create that. So I've got this blog one, and it needs to have a controller. So we'll just call it controller for now.
It's like a mini Monday morning hack in the evening, right?
Yeah,
Can't get
why
better
we
than
choose
that.
to do them at this time of day. It's like, let's just see what's left in us, eh? So class blog is what I'm going to want. And I'm going to want to export the blog, probably.
Oh, damn it. I saved it as a... Saved NodeMon as a production dependency rather than a dev dependency. Damn it. Okay. Let's delete it out. Let's start again.
So what's the root looking for? Find one, let's say. So public find one. Obviously, if you want to take the screen, you're more than welcome to. But
I'm kind of reading NodeMon docs at the moment. It's not that exciting, but you know, might be more exciting than yours. What have you broken now?
probably is more exciting than mine. I am just trying to grab this next function from Express, and I need the request one as well, because I want all Express's stuff.
Let me try in NodeMon now. Let me see.
So request response next, and then that's going to return nothing or void. So what can we do? We can say, let's just do a response. So response send title testing. Let's give that a go.
Is it going to work?
Okay, now if I build this, is it happy yet? Probably not, because I haven't actually added this in. That's right. That's why I was doing that. Export new.
Let's see if NodeMon works. Hey, it worked!
Oh, do you want to show it?
It's not that exciting. I'm excited.
Go on, show everyone Nodemon. You got excited.
I did. Because every project I really go to, someone else has done the Nodemon part, so I haven't really done that myself. So, I'm so excited. Right, basically. Let me show you. So, the code is running, and it's got the return JSON of my endpoint / on the root is key A, value B. So, if I change it to now C, and hit save, and then I go to the RESTful file, and I run that, you'll see on the right hand side when I hit the root endpoint, B, the value of A, changes to C. There's some sound effects. It should be like thunder. I don't know what that sounds like because I can't actually hear it, but hopefully it sounds like really cool. How is our audio and video, by the way? We cranked up the resolution on the video and doubled the bit rate. Hopefully it's like sexier.
Yeah, hopefully it's a bit more visible because our screens are reasonably high resolution, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't make mine any lower, nor did you.
No, I haven't either. So if you're having issues reading what's being written, which looking on there is not too bad because we've got it quite small.
For a second.
But yeah, obviously it's not the sort of thing you can be watching on a phone unless you're just here to listen.
It's true. It's quite small.
Not too bad on the iPad.
It's kind of not too bad. It's a big script on your phone. You're right. That'd be quite hard. Let us know how the video and audio is. We'll appreciate some feedback on that.
Oh, there's no errors on my build. That was good.
I'll put that back
Exciting. I can show my build worked as well.
Do yours. Do
Go
it.
on, let's swap back. So I just ran npm run build. Now that I've got a blog class, it's not really a very good class because it just says, here's a class called blog. It's got a public thing in there, and I'm just going to create a new instance of it to send back. Gives me access to Typescript, but it's not exactly inheritance going on there. We're just sending back an instance of a blog. Video and audio good. Excellent. Glad to hear that.
Cool. Thank you. Who do you think's winning so far? Me or Andrew? I've got Nodemon working.
This is where we're going to get a sound effect. Thunderclap was...
I just did that a second ago.
Oh, did you? Okay. What else have we got?
I haven't done alarm or spaceship. Oh, I shouldn't...
No, the alarm's for the end.
I haven't done alarm or spaceship.
Who wants to try some sound effects out? Let's get. I feel like hitting some sound effects. We just get a vote on what's your favourite one. I'm going to go for this spaceship one because I can't remember what it is.
I can't sound like, but we can't hear it.
We don't. We don't get to hear it. Just go.
Get to hear it.
Whatever it's doing, hopefully it sounds good.
What does it sound like? Does it actually sound like a spaceship?
Probably
we
not.
Just picked a random sound. Probably can't even hear it.
It was called spaceship, but cool. I'll turn it off again. Okay, so yeah, so I've got my app. I've got it running. Let's start the app. I should be able to just do an npm start from there. I do have a dist folder here, so it created a dist folder with the outputted TypeScript to JavaScript, which looks really awesome when TypeScript does that. But anyway, look, we don't care about what gets put out in the dist folder.
I have a question. Spaceship danger alarm. Okay, cool. That kind of makes sense. I remember downloading that one now.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're... Eddie was looking up sound effects. That's why we started about 15 minutes late. He was there going, "Oh, this one's cool. Let's have this and this one. I want all of them."
I did want
but
all
I
of
didn't
them.
We don't have enough time to get one on the stream deck, and then obviously we've forgotten every single one of them.
Yeah, the names made sense at the time, but I did forget.
Yeah. But we thought a few sound effects makes things a bit more interesting, right?
There's only one we haven't used, the alarm for the end.
That's going to finish us off.
Alarm.
Yeah, when
time's
this
up.
goes off in another, how long's left? Oh, we're exactly halfway through. Just hit the 30-minute mark.
Shall I use a JSON file for getting my data to do a blog list, so you can feed the UI in next episode, or should I use Elasticsearch with Docker? Would that be sexy? Do you think I get extra points for that rather than Mongo web scale?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick go.
You know what? I'll hard code it in for now. Let's hard code it in for now.
Right.
We'll be short on time.
Clear that down.
So let me show you my screen, Eddie. Or did you want your screen?
That's right. I was going to quickly show Postman.
Okay, no, show Postman. Take the screen back.
So I have a running API of sorts. It started. It's on localhost 3000, hopefully, because my localhost 3000 port isn't broken. So I'm going to just throw a new request on. Oh, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to save it. I just want to request. Test. What's going on here? I don't want that. Just give me a request. No. New request. Really, it's going to make me run it all through here now. This is new to me. Postman updates has changed things. I don't really want any of that. Just no. Send that. How do we create a new one of these? There we go. Plus, that's the one. That's the one. Right. So get HTTP localhost. This is probably normally when I write. Well, I've got so many requests already there. You just use an old one. Blog, and I think it's just straight on the blog endpoint. I did it. There it is. Look, response, title, testing. That's it. I think Eddie loses a life because he's behind it. He's not got a running Postman. There you go.
I have. I had it running ages ago.
He lost a life.
What? Come on. Everyone, tell him that I had it running way before you.
Through Postman. Were you showing stuff running in Postman?
No, I was using the REST thing in here. It looks even better because I can save my requests for everyone to see in GitHub.
Well, I could save the collection out as well, I suppose.
But then you have to download Postman.
You do.
I think I should gain 2 more points.
No, you lost a life.
And he's got a cheat because he lost the last episode.
Hang on, there was no cheating going on last week now, was there?
You broke yours. You cheated for yourself.
Yeah, but there was no official scoring scheme as such. It got thrown out the window and it just went, I've got 300 points and you lose them. So...
yeah, but I was
we had a scoring scheme and everything, so that's it. This week I'm taking control of who gets the scores. Well, we will have a proper scheme by next week, I'm sure.
You said that last week. Okay, so let me...
go on, then you take it back. I've got something working. I
just want to show that mine is working and I've got blog posts coming through, I think. I haven't tried it yet, but this is what I think. So what I did, I changed the route to be /blogs. It's still on a get, and I'm just going to list these 3 blog posts. Let's see if it works. So if I do the magic shortcut command, you get on the endpoint, you now get a list, and in there you will have title, description, 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3 blog posts coming through. I know we'll probably have an image and some other things, but this is just to get started. I think that's pretty cool. I can't really do, post and patch because I'm not using a database. So maybe the next part will be to maybe put in a database. I haven't put ESLint in yet. I think I should put ESLint in because a lot of my lines don't have semicolons at the end, and I freaking hate that. Summer Pan says, Eddie did it earlier though. Yes, see, it's there written.
But not with TypeScript and all the other challenges you threw.
Hey, that's your problem. You picked all those.
Oh, did I? Don't protect him.
Okay,
he gets too much help.
Give you a crowd. I don't know what other sounds you've got to say. Thank you very much. Big thumbs up to. I want even to type for my personal account saying thank you. Thank you. There we go. Look at that. Thank you. Right. My screen is being shared. Let's stick in Elasticsearch. Let me see. I've got Docker running. Who remembers how to use Docker? If I switch to another terminal, and if I go Docker PS, I have nothing running. Let me see if I have Elasticsearch available. Does anyone see Elasticsearch here? I see Elasticsearch. 6.5 is probably a bit old, but we can use that now. So if I go... Oh, I can't remember Elasticsearch. If I go Docker, start this one, we get a bit of Elasticsearch going. And then I think it runs on port 7,200. Shit, it's been ages. So if I go get HTTP, oh, got too many T's in there. // that's a semicolon, not a colon, which is a bit stupid, Eddie. You go localhost. I think it's 7,200. Anyone know? So if I run that, I should get a rejection, connection rejected. I'm pretty sure it is. Elasticsearch, does it not say? Oh, 9,200. Right, I ran the wrong one probably. Let me just check. 9,200. Let's have a look. And I got Elasticsearch information. Wicked. So therefore, I can just go /. And you can make. I don't think I've got any indexes in there yet, but we can just add one. So you might want to add that. So let's have a look. So can I put? Let's see if we can put some notes. How do you comment something else? This will be list blogs from our API, and this will be list data in Elastic. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's try to see if we can get data from Elastic. We will have to put data in Elastic first. Which means we should do the post really. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can create a post endpoint, capture the data, log it to the console, and then yeah, this is a hackathon. Let me ditch ESLint and those ideas just for now. Let's get data going, moving back and forth. I'm so out of practice with Express and so out of practice with Elastic, but I want to show you how easy I think it is. I hope it is how I remember. So if I just do another one and we go app post, and then we'll say blogs, it will be the same URL, and we're going to get request. We're going to use request this time, so we're going to need the data coming in, and that's the response. And then let's see if we can just go, actually in the response, we'll go JSON, and let's see if we can go, I think it's request body. Let's just see if we can return that. So if I save that, NodeMon should reload it. And then if we go to here, and if we just make another one in here, which is post to that endpoint, then we'll post with a body. So actually we need to specify the content type. Content type is, what's the content type? Application JSON? Is that right? Application. Oh, look. VS Code is auto-completing. No, not JavaScript. Damn it. It might be auto-completing, but I'm picking the wrong one. JSON, there we go, right. And then we put a body in, which we'll put, I don't know, A, B. Just to see if it kind of goes through. And let's just run this now. Run it. And header name must be valid HTTP token. What's wrong with that? What did I do wrong? Header name. Oh, it worked that time, but I got nothing back. So rec body did not work. Why not? Let's just stick a console log in there as well, just to make sure that it's got some data in there, so we can see if it's what's being returned is wrong, or if me grabbing the data is wrong. Rec body. We could always dump out the entire, and that will appear in the other terminal in here. Console log should appear in there. So if I run that again now, and go run. No, but it's empty. I'm getting empty back. Does anyone? Venkatesh application JSON. Thank you for confirming. So what else? Oh, I've got application. That's me with my autocomplete. That looks better, right? We've got AB in the console. We've got AB in the return on the right. Perfect. So if I go back to here, thank you for pointing that out. So we can lose that console log now. We don't need that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to save this to Elasticsearch. Freaking, I have no idea how we're going to do this in. I think I've done it in Java and PHP, but not in JavaScript. But we can figure it out. You know, we, as in you and me, are smart people. Not sure about Andrew. He's being very quiet.
You're busy getting help again, are you? Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing a bit of work. I can show what's been going on if you like. I think I'm getting close.
You wrote application twice. Yeah, I know. I didn't check the chat soon enough, but. Thank you. If I checked it sooner, we would have saved like a few minutes. Cause I'm sure you wrote that well before I realised you'd written something in the chat. So thank you very much.
Yeah, that is a nuisance, the delay.
I need to keep an eye on the chat. Well, I didn't notice it. Maybe I should put my phone up, or I should move the iPad closer to me so I can see the chat better. Okay, so let's write. So Elasticsearch is just literally HTTP, and it's post and get. Similar to what we're doing, we're creating, I guess, a facade in front of it. So with JavaScript, how easy is it to make HTTP requests? We could use, I know Node has it built in, but it kind of sucks. There are some wrappers for that, but there might be something we can get. Do you want to still screen?
I'm inputting data to a database.
What? He's cheating. Let me put the screen back on his.
Cheating.
And don't forget to ask
us
questions.
I haven't actually checked it's gone into the database yet.
Yeah, see?
The database isn't even running, so it can't have gone in, but something happened.
Something happened. Something. Dev null.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go in, what was it, Code Mortals.
Your screen is showing now, I think.
Season 1, Player 1. Okay, and backend. I don't really need to do that. MongoD. Let's start Mongo. So I'll just go to the database, and we called it CodeKombat. But it won't be created yet, so this will be empty. So I do a show DBs. There's nothing there. If I do a show collections, there's nothing there. I can make this text a bit bigger as well, so people can actually read it. Probably helps on terminal. Right, so if I hit this to send, okay, there's no errors coming back, which is interesting. Right, what I need to do is actually connect to the database. That would help.
Look at this guy.
I thought it was writing to database, but actually it's not.
He's writing to dev null. Okay.
What's quite awesome is it still comes up back with an ID because Mongoose is generating IDs anyway.
Sounds like a hack
But it's
to
not
me.
actually
I think that sounds like a hack. You lose a point.
Oh no, he's giving me.
He loses a life.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to connect to the database first. So we'll knock a few points off Eddie very soon.
What?
Hang on. Dear. Look at that.
Might have
2 points.
It's because you were using.
For one thing, I lose 2.
Well, the thing is, it's because not my fault.
So I'll knock one off you in a minute for cheating.
It's not my fault. It's because
So I'm being nice. I'm being nice. Don't worry.
Let me explain.
No, you don't need to explain
It's
it.
because I wrote the database, but the database didn't exist, so it wrote it twice. But it makes sense in my head.
Very good.
Have you gone back to my screen already?
You can have your screen if you want.
No,
You were showing Elasticsearch,
you
weren't you?
pressing.
No, I was just getting a thunderclap out for your statements. No, you can show Elasticsearch off.
Well, I'm doing a more amazing code by copying and pasting. I've just added the Elasticsearch node library, and I'm just going to copy and paste some code just to see if it works. And then we can customize it a bit more. So on the post, we're still going to stick this in the post, and I should put this in separate files, but we can kind of worry about it later. Let me, what happened then? I copied and pasted that badly. I did, I copied and pasted halfway through the code. That's not so good. You know what, we can delete this last part. Let's just put one document in. So what you want to do, so we create an index. Oh, these shouldn't go in here. Wrong place to put the client and the require and stuff. Eddie, that's really bad. Really, really bad, Eddie. Let's make a bit of space up here. I think that looks alright-ish. And then, because the promise. Okay, yeah, we can use async. I think that looks alright. I must be missing some brackets. I am missing some brackets. So must be missing that bracket. How does that look? Does that look okay? That looks terrible. How have they done it? I don't like the way they've written that. Nah. Should we do it with a promise or an async? What do you reckon?
You've got to go async, surely.
Yeah, but an async, it's like writing kind of PHP. And just... You don't like promise? No promises anymore?
Well, I think async awaits the way forward, but obviously promises still have their place even within an async await world. So
especially if we've like promise all, or should we go RxJS? Dun dun dun. Wait, we need some clap. What's a thunderclap? Crowd goes wild for RxJS. Woo! No, okay.
It might make your life even harder having to get that set up, but go for it.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be a bit overkill, like kind of a sledgehammer, crack a walnut. Venkatesh says both are fine. Okay, I've copied and pasted this from the official Elasticsearch library. It should work. I don't think it is, but let's just run it. So it's going to write to the index Game of Thrones. Let's just call that blogs. Uncommon is if you're using Elasticsearch less than 6. Okay, no. Body, character, let's just copy one of these. Let's just put one of these in here. Okay. Let's just run that. Why have I got an error? I've got too many brackets. I have too many brackets. Body. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, maybe too many brackets. Is that right? Okay. So if I save that, let's just see what happens. Right? Let's just wing it. it's a hackathon. Micro hack. So if I run the post now, obviously we're going to get the same result, but hopefully no error. Let's have a look.
Do you want a quick time update? 13 and a half minutes left on the clock.
What?
So hopefully it's going well.
Alarm!
I haven't even got as far as
Alarm!
doing the tests yet. I mean, I was hoping to put a few tests against this. I don't know if I'm going to have time.
Tests. I'm lucky to get Hello World working.
I know, it's pretty
How do I know
harsh.
if that went into the database? So now I can check it went into the database by going to this one, running this. Elasticsearch to say how many documents it is. And we know what the index is, right? So we knew it was called blogs. I think if we just hit this, error, root cause, index not found. So it did not write. Because this is not going to run, is it? No. Let's just use promises. Oh, I suppose I could call it afterwards. I just don't like that. It just seems like such a hack. Okay. When you're already within a function, let's just ditch that, right? And then this is good. Does it get a promise? Yeah, okay. Then data, and we'll just console log whatever we get from there.
It feels like a rush to see who can connect to a database first.
You use Mongo all the time.
You use Elastic all the time, so you tell me.
I haven't used it in years. And I haven't used it with JavaScript.
You're always like, yeah, I use Elastic for that. It's
So,
great.
looks like I got some data. Let's have a look. I think at the end you put, is it underscore search? I can't remember. / Does anyone remember Elasticsearch? Is it underscore search? Hits 1, there we go. Got our blogs document, we've got our ID, and we've got title 1 and 2. Yes, yes, yes. Cooking on gas now. Okay, let's go. Right. So the console log, what did that give us out of curiosity? Okay, we just got this. I suppose we'll get the ID back and the data and loads of stuff. Okay, we'll worry about later on. Let's worry about later on. For now, we should do the response, not the request body. We'll do it in the promise. And we won't return the body. Let's just check. What can we return from the data? Because we want the ID in it, really, because we'll need that in the future. So what do we have? There's a lot of data here. Body, version. It has the IDs, okay, and it matches with the ID up here, as you can see. These two IDs match. So if we do data dot body, that will have the information. Okay, but now we want to save this data. So what we want to do is in title, it's going to be rec body dot title. I don't know if these are correct fields from the UI. I can't remember. And then we're going to do rec body title description. So only number 1 exists in the database. So I'll save this now and we go to our REST post. Let's see if we can get number 2 in. So if we go title 2, and we duplicate that line and go description 3. Let me just check the chat to make sure no one said I've missed anything. And description. Oh, no, description 2. There we go. Right. Let's run this, and then hopefully the response we get is a new ID, and it's got with index. It hasn't actually got the data, which is interesting. But it's fine. So now, if I call this one below, Elasticsearch should have 2 in there. It does, and it has both documents, 1 and 2. So let's just tie in our API, our get API to do that. So at the moment, our get API is hard-coded. Let's return that to do Elastic. And let me just check the docs to remind myself how to do a read. Do a client search of the index, and if they want an actual search query. Okay, let's have a look. So if we get rid of this. So we go client search. And index is going to be blogs. And then the body query match. We just want everything. So, I can't remember my Elasticsearch stuff. Do we just put a star in there, or do we just put nothing? Let's just save it and wing it. This formatting is awful. Let me just.
That's what you're doing, isn't it? It's winging it all the way. Nothing wrong with that, though.
All the way. Let's have a look. So if I call our get, we get no data come back. So that is clearly wrong. It's because it's a promise, right? I'm guessing it's a promise. Let's just format this a bit so it looks a bit nicer because it kind of looks a bit shit at the moment. So I'm guessing we need to switch this around. I've got this within the JSON, but it should be the other way around. So let me put this up here and then get rid of that. And then we should go then, and then we go data. And then in here we should go res.json data. Aha! Now I think we're a bit better. Got it the right way round. And if I do the get now, we still have no data. Oh, we've got an error. Let's just run it one more time to make sure it is me. And again, passing exception. Oh, I'm guessing it's this match with nothing inside. So let's check the docs. I can't remember. We can check the Elasticsearch docs. Elasticsearch. I know it's just called Elastic now, isn't it? Search all. Oh god, I can't remember. Match all. Ah, that's pretty close. Oh, it is just match all empty. And what did I have in ours? We have match. So we need match underscore all. Right, if we save that, let's just try again. Look at that. We have data coming out, but it's got a shitload of stuff in it that we don't want, like shards and all the rest. So we probably want to do some sort of map. We don't want all these scores and everything else in there. We want just what's in source. So let's have a look. So if we swing back to here, in the JSON, we want data dot body dot, I think the next one is hits, dot hits again. And then now it's an array. So we want to go map. Hope you're all checking this, making sure I'm doing this right. I want to map, and this will be the actual doc. I missed Typescript. And then in the map, we will want to go doc dot title. Oh no, we need to create an object, which will be, I missed models as well. Dot title, and it'll be doc dot title, comma description, which will be doc dot description. Let's spread this out over a couple of lines because that's really shit hard to read. We could just remove that. There we go. It's easier to read now. Got a thumbs up from Venkatesh. Thank you very much. So he's agreeing with looking good. Yeah. I do have an error here. What's wrong with that? Any expected? Have I missed a bracket of some sort? No, that looks alright. Description doesn't need to be quoted, right? Oh, it needs to have an extra bracket if we're going to return it on the single line return. There we go. Whew. Anton, if you're watching, I remember you showed me that many years ago, and I haven't really used it, but now I am. Let's save that and see. So when we run when we hit the endpoint again on the get on our API endpoint, not Elasticsearch, we shouldn't get all this cruft. We should just get everything in source twice, and then in source again, but it'll be title 1, title 2. Do you think it will work? Write yes or no in the comments, please. If you think it will work, write yes. If you think it won't work, write no. And I'm going to run it. So write it now. Go, go, go. I hope you're really positive and you're going to write it. I'm going to write yes. Yes. I think it's going to work. What do you think? See, that was me. Venkatesh, thank you. Got a yes from Andrew. Do you think it's going to work?
It'll always work. Why wouldn't it work?
See, exactly. You need to write yes in the comment. I'll write yes on Andrew's behalf.
Right, yes, you want? No, I'll just say.
No. I wrote yes somewhere else on your computer. What? What?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I want to ban you. Wait a second. Let's run it and see, right? Okay, ready? Go. Ah!
Typing with.
We got 2 results, but they're empty objects. Does anyone know why? I do not know why. So it knows there's 2, so the map has gone round twice. the map has gone round twice. So up to here it's correct, but this is wrong. Why is it wrong? Is it because we're saying... but we are returning JSON.
Time must be getting close. 3.5 minutes.
I haven't got it working! Please help me. We shouldn't beg.
Okay, cool. I've got results coming. I'm just trying to writing in.
I've got right working.
Oh, you got right working.
I think.
Well, my body parser isn't picking up the body. I don't know what I've done wrong. I show people if you want whilst you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my right is working, but my read isn't at the moment.
So I've got it the other way around. Good. I'll show what I've got anyway.
Okay.
So CFO, last time I was on the screen, database wasn't there, so I've added a little bit of connecting to databases stuff to set up the database. If it's not there, then connect to it. If it is, then don't worry because we're okay. Using the next function to just move to next once we're connected. Then the blog model, which I didn't quite get around to showing. So I've got a model. This is Typescript here, where I have to define models for things. So I've just put a title and a created in there for now, and a schema for Mongo, which looks a little like this. So we declare the schema, give it a title, which is type string. I'm saying it's required. I'm trimming it as well. So if there's white space either end, that will get rid of it. And then a default value just to put in an entry. In fact, you don't really need those things there. And then that exports out. And then we're trying to write into the blogs table, which when I go to my controller up here, I'm reading the blogs, so it's just 2 lines to read from it really. I could add a bit more around this for error handling. So for example, I could say try, pulling that in because we're using await async, so we use try and catch. And if there was an error, so we would want to send the blogs only if it's okay. And if there was an error, then we could assume it's, let's have 404. Although we're not really going to get 404s, but let's say send status 404 res send. If you were having an individual entry, then that would probably be more beneficial for an individual one to have a 404, but when it's just a list, we're just passing it all back. What I might do is just wrap this as an object as well, because really you should have objects that get sent back. I'll just call it list for blogs. Otherwise you can, I mean, it's not such an issue anymore. It used to be an issue sending an array back. I think most browsers are now patched for it, but there was a security issue a number of years ago that if you sent a list back, people could intercept and cause damage to you. But the insert is where I'm having some issues. So I'm trying to read the body out, create the blog, again, try, we hit the save. We are then trying to log out what happens, and it should be okay, but I'm hitting the error state instead. And the error state is basically that the body is required, the title, but it's not coming through. So in the root, I'm telling the router to use the JSON parser for the entry coming in. But if I go to Postman, so I can hit Postman on the get, so there's no headers or anything, it's just be none. And if I hit send, we'll see it again, there it comes. And I can check that by going to the database, and I can add another one. So I can call this entry 2, let's say. Insert that. Hit send, and I should see, there we are, 2 entries come back, 1, 2. So the read is working, but when I hit post, and I tell it I want to send a raw body, it's going to be JavaScript. Sending blog post, and in the headers, oh, that's our timer. I need to hit the alarm. The alarm's gone off.
It works! Woo!
Hang on, that's after the timer
No,
went off.
I got it.
You missed the timer there.
Yes! Read and write.
We'll show the post going in, but yeah, it's missing in the request header, so that's all that's missing on that.
It's title, Eddie. Yeah, I saw I made a mistake on the thing. That's why it was coming through empty. So thank you. I need to read that chat. I get better at reading that chat. I'd have Venkatesh on the phone in my ear,
helping you
reading me what to write.
Dialing in.
Okay, do you want to demo yours or should I demo mine?
Well, it depends. You write, as long as you're not hard coding what you're writing, you are reading it from the body, are you?
From the database.
Hey? No, you're writing.
Yeah, to the database.
Yeah. It's not hard coded though what you're writing.
No.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let me show you. Give you a couple of seconds to tidy that.
It's fine. I won't do anything else. I'm not sure what I'm missing again. Something simple. Something simple. I'm sure it'll be a one-liner.
We'll have a look.
It's always a one-liner when it gets to that point.
So what we do, let's create some data. So, do you want to see?
I'm watching.
Are you watching? Okay, so we've got 1 and 2 blog posts in the database. So we're going to create a third one going through our API, not going through to Elasticsearch. So we create number 3. We will now make that request. Boom. And then if we go to our API again and we list it, we should have 3. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Alarm, not alarm, crowd. Woo! Oh, let the robot count it for us. 1, 2, 3. I think she counts like 6, 5, 4, so I don't know what that's about.
Oh, really?
But, yes, it works. Okay, let's switch to Andrew. Let's have a look.
You switch to me, yeah. With well, I can change my post if you want to see something go into the database, just so people can see the database does right.
Let's have a look.
I'll just change that quickly. So
have I won again?
Rather than it reading the body.
Bit of ASMR.
Okay. So post should, in theory, not error anymore because I'm hard coding in the read. So, okay, I can't. For whatever reason, my body parser isn't parsing the body. But now I get a 201 come through.
Read the body parser, rip it out.
What were you using to parse your body then when you were passing stuff in?
Magic.
Okay.
Whatever was on Stack Overflow, I think I found.
Too much copy and paste going on. So I think Eddie should lose the rest of his life for copy and paste of Stack Overflow.
I'm joking. I think go to Stack Overflow once. Okay, so
that's 3 entries come
vanilla.
through. So the third entry does come through. It is reading from it, but yeah, it's not reading from the body that I send in. That's the only thing. So even though I've got the body parser in there, so the root's over here. We have a body parser. This is where something's not right. It's reading for application JSON, which I should have the header set for. Oh, it'll be that JSON. So it probably was working. So I probably did have working code. Let me undo what I changed then. I probably was having working code, which would be a bit fairer. It was just me sending the request in. So application JSON.
Let's have a look. Moment of truth. Wait.
Sending a blog post. Let's get it. Hang on. Put it on a post. Hit send. 201 created. And a get against it.
Was that really
too much? And there it is. It did work. So
okay, we'll give you a round of applause as well.
I had working code. Okay.
You get a round of applause as well.
There we go.
You get a thumb.
Awesome.
And you get a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, adding TypeScript and all the rest of it takes time.
It does, but it helps you so much later on.
It does later on, absolutely. It's an investment at the start, which makes it a knife edge to do in an hour, that's for sure. But yeah,
but it's worth it. You save so much time.
Yeah, I didn't get around to the test. I wanted to put some tests in, but blimey, 1 hour, that's hard
fast,
going.
Right? I didn't
get time to
put. Did you put ESLint in?
I didn't put the linter in.
I didn't
get around to putting the linter in. Yeah, so there's a few things missing that I would normally put there, but just got to show, just getting a project running, it takes a couple of hours just to get the basics in place.
What I'm going to do is I am going to push up my code, and then if anyone would like to add a linter for me, I'd really appreciate it, and then that will help with your Hacktoberfest pull requests. Rocking both of you. Thanks, Venkatesh. Thank you for all your support. You're always so supportive. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was stressful at the end.
It was. I think I want to go sleep now. I'm quite exhausted.
I just hate how it's always something simple that you overlook when you're doing stuff, because I actually had working code. I just didn't have the right request coming through. Hey ho. All good.
All is good.
Did you want to see? I don't know if I've not tried to run my stuff from last week to show what I did have last week, so that next week I'd have to show it again.
Okay.
Let's see if it
let
can
Andy
run it
show
up.
you that, and then I'm going to push up my code so people can improve it. And oh wait a second, who won? Who won this week? Wait a second. Who won?
Oh, hang on a minute. Eddie lost a heart at the end there.
What? Okay, lose a heart. Okay, then and what did you lose?
I've only counted one so far. Go on, what am I losing one for?
Do you know what Andrew lost? Andrew's didn't work at the time of the bell again.
It was work. The code was working at the bell. Yours wasn't. That's why you lost that heart. Because
What?
at the bell, you were like, and it worked after the timer had already gone
Like
off.
a few
I
seconds.
actually didn't change any code after the bell, apart from when I showed it to show it and then realised it was something else.
Okay,
so
to
the code was working. It was Postman that was wrong. So I'm happy to lose one for my error in using Postman.
Okay, to be nice to Andrew, would let him lose one, and that means lose one.
Yeah, go for it. I was about to say, so the blog's up and running. This is what I had last week, bar one line of code that I put in the wrong file.
He's going to lose one. He wasn't clear about what one he was going to lose.
So this was my very simple looking blog on the front end. And then a view more button, which used the same component, which was quite cool. So because I built my own components, it's exactly the same component on the list page as it is to viewing the individual item. So that's what I had last week. So we'll carry on next week with building that up, make it look a bit nicer, talk to the back end. There'll be some back end work needed to support some of this because there's a few fields that are missing. So we will be doing a bit of back end at the same time, but a lot of it's going to be syncing it all together, bringing the two code bases together.
I don't think my fields
and
match.
having a front and a back end working. Yeah. So there's things like that we'll have to sort out.
But I've got it working. Blah. I've got mine working with Elasticsearch. Do you know what that means? My bonus trick, my party trick, could be a real search.
Real search. Okay.
Like a real search, because
that might be your episode 5 activity to do something like that.
5 could be like do something special.
Yeah, okay.
Episode 5.
Okay, we'll see what different searches you can have because Elastic and Mongo have got some interesting search capabilities. Mongo, I can do full text searches and stuff.
Mongo's for kids though, I thought.
I'm just joking. Depends what your needs are. If you've got massive data, then Elasticsearch is the way to go.
I have 3 blog posts. I might have 5.
I'm not quite sure what's happened to my name.
Just for the massive data part, I have 3 blog posts at the moment. I might end up with 5. That's pretty big data.
That is huge data for Elasticsearch. It's definitely the database to use for what you're doing.
I need web scale.
Yeah, I think you're hoping to rebuild Medium or something, aren't you?
Yeah. So you didn't lose a heart, but your name got rubbed out.
Okay.
I left you with the 1.
Slow death.
Where's it going? Player 0.
Well, I think we had tanks versus planes as well.
We did, yes. Well, thank you all so much. It was exhausting, exhilarating, and super fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah.
That was good.
Obviously, tell everyone as well. We're more than keen for more people to come and join. So if you're enjoying it, see if anyone else wants to come. I think next week is going to be quite interesting, bring everything together.
Front end and back end,
you're going to get the whole stack going. And
full stack.
Yeah, in effect, that's 3 hours will have taken to build a full stack blog, which is not bad. And what I find funny is you go to interviews for jobs and stuff, and they would expect you to like produce something like a blog or whatever as a technical test to do offline. And you can see, I mean, we're pretty much racing. Okay, we're talking a bit at the same time. Certainly Eddie is. But yeah, it's effectively 3 hours it would have taken probably to get a very basic blog front and back end all put together.
Yeah, and you can do it in so many different ways, which is quite interesting, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing as well. So you've got one way of doing a blog. I've got another way. You're not using Typescript. I'm using Typescript. You're using Elastic. I'm using Mongo. But at the end of the day, what they can achieve is almost the same.
Exactly. We also have some ideas for future seasons. So we've got 3 more episodes left on this one. But we're thinking of maybe a React versus Angular competition, getting Anton on board to do the React.
If Anton's not around, Eddie said he's willing to have a go.
And we actually have a React Angular surprise coming up in the next few weeks.
We do. We've got to get on with it.
It will not be done in this room, and it will not be live streamed. It'll be a video, but it will be it will be done in the YouTube space in London, and so it should be quite fun.
As long as they get us some space. I thought they're rather busy.
They're quite booked actually.
Out,
we'll try and see if there's a cancellation or something.
We'll have to see. But yeah, hopefully we can get into there and do that.
Should be quite fun. And
yeah, for anyone who really wants to see if they can find it, then there is some info on GitHub if you do search around a bit on there.
For what?
For what we're doing.
Oh yeah, we put the notes.
We've kept it all public. Everything we're doing is public. So for those that are observant, you can find it out there.
Exactly. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great morning, day, evening, wherever you are.
Whatever part of your day you're in, enjoy, have a good one, relax, and yeah.
We'll catch you soon.
Hopefully see you next week.
Wait, some sound effects. Robot.
2, 5, 7, 2.
Yeah, if you know what it does. Hopefully it does that.
Does that, right? No? Okay, I stopped it now.
Cool. Right. And always recommend some more sound effects. If you've got other sound effects, drop it in the chat, because we want some better sound effects.
That's true.
And we need to actually know what these ones are. So
that's true. And thank you again, Venkatesh, for being really engaging and supportive, and your great comments. It's awesome.
Thanks all. Good night.
Good night.